At my brother's wedding, his fiancée said, his sister is just a pathetic single mother. My mom laughed and added, she's like a discount model with a scratched-off label. The guests burst out laughing. But then, my 9-year-old son stood up, walked to the stage, and said, I know something about the bride. The room went silent. I still remember the exact moment that silence fell. It wasn't the kind of silence that follows a beautiful speech or a sweet first dance, no, it was the kind that slaps you across the face and dares you to cry in public. At my brother Liam's wedding, I began to speak, my voice steady but my chest still tight. His bride had stood on stage and called me a pathetic single mom, and the whole room laughed. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was when my own mother, my mother, Janice, leaned into her champagne glass and said, loud enough for the microphone to catch it, she's like a discount model with a scratched label. And just like that, they all laughed harder. Every guest. Every fork paused midair. Every chuckle started small and grew into cackles that wrapped around my throat like a scarf made of shame. I sat there, frozen. I could feel the blood rush to my cheeks, my ears ringing. My hands trembled slightly as I reached for my glass of water but couldn't lift it without spilling. I clenched my fingers into fists instead, hoping no one noticed how badly I was shaking. My eyes instinctively darted to Liam, my baby brother. He was up at the head table, looking down into his lap. His face was blank, but his jaw twitched. His eyes flickered toward me once, just once, and then away, like he couldn't bear to look. That tiny flicker of guilt in his eyes, it gutted me. I felt like I was 8 years old again, standing behind the garage where the neighborhood girls used to whisper about how weird I was, how poor my clothes looked. Except this time, it wasn't strangers. It was my family. My own blood. And for what? Because I'm a single mom? Because I didn't come wrapped in silk and diamond-cut perfection like Emily, Liam's fiancée. Or rather, bride now. She stood on that stage in her pearl white gown, holding the mic like it was a baton in a race she'd already won. Her smile didn't reach her eyes, not that it ever did. I'd spent the past year watching her fake her way through every family event, offering compliments that sounded more like insults. Calling me brave for raising a child on my own, like I was a rescue puppy that just needed praise for staying alive. And then there was my mother, Janice, the woman who used to braid my hair before school, now looking at me like I was an expired coupon. Once valuable. Now useless. Why did her words cut so deep? Why did I still care? Was I really that pathetic? Was being a single mom all I would ever be in their eyes? I sat perfectly still, my back straight, the corners of my mouth forced into a polite smile that hurt to maintain. My son Noah sat next to me, clutching a napkin in both hands. His big brown eyes searched my face, and I forced a smile so he wouldn't see the tears pooling in mine. He whispered, Mom, why are they laughing at you? That question shattered something inside me. I opened my mouth to answer, but no words came out. What could I say? That sometimes the people who are supposed to love you the most are the first to throw you under the bus? I wanted to leave, just walk out, grab Noah's hand, and never look back. But before I could even push my chair back, Noah did something I'll never forget. He stood up. Just like that. No hesitation, just a quiet strength that didn't match his 9 years. And then he started walking toward the stage. I should have known that wedding wasn't going to be easy for me. Even before Emily's insult. Before my mother's cruel little joke. Before the laughter. I had already spent the whole day pretending I belonged there, pretending I was someone they could be proud of. It started that morning, standing in front of my mirror, trying to zip up a dress I bought on clearance. It was a little too tight, a little too formal, but I needed something that didn't scream single mom trying too hard. I tugged at the fabric, turned side to side, and told myself it looked okay. Noah walked in while I was checking my makeup. You look like a movie star, he said, eyes wide. I smiled, even though I didn't believe him. Thanks, baby, I said, brushing his hair down gently. You're my favorite hype man. I remember the drive to the venue, Noah humming in the back seat, asking if Uncle Liam was nervous. I laughed and said, probably. Weddings are scary. I didn't say what I was really thinking, family is scarier. Liam and I were close once. He's 5 years younger than me, and I practically helped raise him after our dad left. I used to help him with homework, cover for him when he snuck out, and hold his hand during thunderstorms. For years, it felt like it was just the two of us against the world. But that changed when he met Emily. She was polished, poised. The kind of woman who walks into a room and makes you feel like you need to apologize for existing. I tried to be kind when he introduced us, I really did, but she made it clear from day one that I wasn't her type of people. She once told me at a family dinner, it's so inspiring that you're doing this all on your own, in that tone people use when they want you to know they're above you, but pretending not to be. My mom loved her immediately. I could see it in the way she leaned in when Emily talked, how she laughed at every story, even the boring ones. Janice had never looked at me that way. With me, she was always stiff, judgmental, like I was a reminder of all the things she didn't want to see in herself. I used to think I was just being sensitive. That wedding proved otherwise. The venue was beautiful, white roses everywhere, soft violin music floating in the air, candlelight flickering off gold-rimmed glasses. Everyone was dressed like they'd stepped out of a magazine. And then there was me, trying not to wrinkle my dress every time I sat down, adjusting the one pair of heels I owned, praying Noah wouldn't spill anything on his little shirt and tie. He looked so proud, though. "Do I look grown up?" he asked, adjusting his collar. "You look like the man of the hour," I told him. And I meant it. As the night went on, I smiled, nodded, made small talk. I laughed at jokes I didn't find funny. I held my head high even when I caught a few glances from Emily's friends. I was surviving. Until that mic moment happened. And everything I held together, my composure, my pride, my years of pretending, came crashing down. The laughter felt like daggers. And in that moment, I saw something in Noah's eyes that changed everything. Not fear. Not confusion. But protection. He wasn't going to let them laugh at me, not without saying something. So he stood up and walked toward the stage. And I just sat there, holding my breath. My heart dropped as I watched Noah walk toward the stage. Now you can watch the second part by pressing share and more.